What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Web Buzz Podcast. I'm your host, Shawn Tiberio, joined as always by the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Roger Valdez, aka Google Nader. What's up, dude?
What's going on, man? Doing good. Excited about today.
I was trying to give you the MMA style intro, but I just don't have it in me to Roger.
It's all good, man. It's all good. Still had the feel. I should have had some like fireworks and stuff going out, smoke coming out the back, but man, we should coordinate it a little better.
Gonna have to start doing that. So anyway, having a good day so far?
Yeah, man. There's a lot going on. Obviously, with work, that's always a given, but there's some cool stuff. Obviously, today's episode is all about an exciting update. So that always gets me hyped up because where there's change, there's opportunity.
Always.
So I think it's a great time right now. It's a great time to be a marketer. It's a great time to be an entrepreneur and be in business, man. Things are moving.
Absolutely.
It's awesome.
Absolutely. And as the countdown music was going, we were getting this thing going live. I was in the background. I think I shared this thing to, 25, 30 different groups really fast because this topic is something that our local level type businesses, real estate folks, hint, hint, wink, wink, do not miss this episode. So if you were watching this live, if you catch this later on a replay, whatever it is, I don't care what you got to do, share it to somebody, tag somebody in it, push it out to somebody that you care about in business, because this one even caught, I'm not going to lie, this one caught me from left field. Roger brought me this topic and started mentioning it. It was like, what do you mean? All of this stuff is changing. And it really raised this question: is Google My Business dead? And I think we're going to get some answers today. Roger's armed. He's been kind of putting some research in, studying. I tell you guys this all the time. He eats the Google code. So knowing him, he probably had all the answers a month ago, just didn't say anything yet.
Well, it's one of those things that you got to tippy toe around, make sure that it's true. The rumors are true, right? And the information, the press releases come out and you still can't trust them, right?
Make sure it's not just water fountain scuttle.
Exactly. Until you actually see it. And then you're like, boom, the rollout is happening. It's time. It's time to talk about it. It's time to start making some changes.
Absolutely. So if you're joining us live, let us know in the comments. Let us know that you're here. If questions pop into mind, throw them in the comments so that I can get those over to our resident Google Nader himself to help get answered. But I'm not gonna waste any time today. I want to kick us right in. We're hearing some of this talk. We'll call them rumors. We're gonna get some clarity on that through this episode. But short answer is: Google My Business dead?
So great. Let's go ahead and jump into this. Is Google My Business dead? Well, let's find out. Stick around. You'll find out, because I'm going to go out through all the details, what's happening. And there is still some unknowns too. Okay. So what's been going on? This has been in the makings for months now, right? There's a little bit of information out there that Google was going to rebrand Google My Business. And as always, people start taking that information and misinterpreting what that means, right? That's why there's a lot of press out there, or just kind of, information out there that is Google My Business dead. And if you don't know what Google My Business is, it's Google's business profile. It's a profile that you're able to create for free. It's absolutely free. It's something that we would consider something like a citation, a structured citation, because you're able to fill out an actual form or application of some sort. And it provides your business a profile on Google. And you guys have all seen them. If you ever do a Google search, you sometimes see a section that shows up with maps, or on the sidebar, you'll see a business that's hanging out right there. That's probably like kind of a recommendation from Google, depending on what you're searching for. That is the Google My Business profile, or the formerly known as Google My Business profile. So that is a great tool for local businesses. You're able to kind of put your information on there. It ranks, as you can see, it ranks on maps, it ranks on the sidebar. So it does a lot. So the big thing that happened here that got rolled out is Google just rebranded this this tool or this feature that's out there for everybody, and it kind of took people by surprise in a bit, because when they roll out something like this, it Google has no problem getting rid of tools that are not working for their business model. You have to remember, business or Google is a business, right? So they always have to have that in mind. Is this tool, is this feature aligned with our long-term goals, right? So there's a lot of debates. I'm not going to say that I have all the answers right now, because I do not. I don't think anybody does. I think Google's still providing, even in their documentation, they say going into 2022, we're going to continue to update everybody on this rollout. So they're rolling everything out in pieces. Okay. So right now we're seeing some things, but it has happened. I'm here to kind of announce it 100% that Google has changed Google My Business, the rebranding, to Google Business Profile. So we are no longer going to call the Google My Business GMB. We have to now get used to using Google Business Profile, which is now GBP. It's even hard for me to say.
GBP. I guarantee you I'm going to say the GMB a bunch of times. So short answer, you're basically saying, yes, Google My Business, GMB, as we've known it, that we've literally been doing a lot of episodes lately around. Is it? It's over.
It's over.
We lost it.
It's done. It's what is it called? A part of an era is done.
We turned the leaf on a new digital era. I've been telling so many people this. Quick little rabbit trail side note, and I'll let you get back to what you're doing. But I've been telling a lot of people this, that, and you and I have talked about this like crazy over the last like year and a half or so, really ever since about that early part of 2020 when everything went haywire and crazy, how quick things are changing in the digital space, especially coming from Google. I don't think they make this change this fast if we weren't in this particular time frame. I bet they had plans to make this change, but I don't think it comes this fast, this sudden, if we're in a different time, right? Where the internet isn't as predominant or as needed, and not even needed, expected. And I want to hit on something real quick that Roger said. Make sure you guys are really listening and really paying attention here. Google, at the end of the day, is a business. He says that all the time. And I always remind people, who is their customer? Who is it that Google as a business is trying to serve? It is not you, the business. They are not here to serve you. They are here to serve the searcher. The searcher is their client. So when they make changes as a business, they're making a change to better service their client, which is the searcher, which means even though we're saying GMB as we know it is gone and it's now, what was it? Google Business Profile.
GBP. It's going to take us a while, man. Everybody, all the information I've been looking at, all, some of my podcasts that I listen to, some of my mentors, I mean, we're all having a hard time saying this. It's new. That's what
I'm gonna stay away from acronyms for a little bit, which is hard to do as a Marine. And by the way, all my Marines that are out there today, happy birthday! It is the Marine Corps' birthday today. But anyway, where I was going with that whole thing is they make this change, and even though we're saying that the Google, the GMB of the past is no longer, and there's this new Google Business Profile, I can promise you, it's to enhance the searcher. It's to enhance the relationship between them and the searcher, which means for you, the business owner, it's a trend you need to jump on so that you can maximize that enhancement with your local audience. Now, how do we do that? That's what we got Roger for. I don't have to worry about it. So what does this mean? Going to get us into this.
A couple tips and tricks here. What does this mean? All right, let's jump into this. Now that we know the Google My Business Profile, that particular feature, that product is dead, but it's been rebranded as Google Business Profile. Your new GBP is what we're going to look at it. So let's kind of dissect this a little bit. What does this mean? We're going to kind of look at a little bit of the history. What does this mean for you as a business owner that already has a Google My Business or somebody that's thinking about setting one up, or I'm sorry, a Google Business Profile, and how to manage it and a couple of the features. This isn't all about kind of diving into every single feature that got released. This is just to give you an overview and make you aware of this change, right? And to be aware that things can change, and you should take advantage of certain things that are out there for your business now and move on it. Take action, because they can go away from one day to another. Okay, so let's kind of jump in. So a little bit of the history, guys. This is not the first time that this profile has been rebranded. It's been done multiple times. First one, when it first came out, it was Google Local. If you guys have been around for a while, you'll remember Google Local. Then it went to Google Places. Then we got introduced to Google My Business, which is what we formerly knew the Google My Business as that profile. And now we're here, 2021, about to approach 2022 and go into that year. Now we're going into the era of Google Business Profile. Okay, so to the GBP. So don't get kind of married to this. Don't get used to this, because with time, I'm sure in a couple of years or whatnot, this will be rebranded again, right? But for the time being, we need to kind of learn this. We need to get adjusted to it, get used to it, start kind of seeing what the opportunity is and move forward. Because I am going to, towards the end of this video, if you stick around, I'm going to give my personal kind of thoughts and theories on why this is happening. And something that's going to be very important, is going to affect everybody. And once again, we can come back to this video years, a couple years from now and see if it actually happened. But this is very cool. And that's why I say it's very exciting, because these things are changing, and it's affecting everybody. So it's really, really, really cool. So first of all, we're going to jump in as, what does this even mean for you guys? Why should you even be worried? What you should be looking into? And why is Google doing this? So the first thing I'm going to tell you, after reading the documentation, Google overall and all that documentation, all those words, basically what they're saying is, we are trying to make things easier. We are trying to make things simpler for the user, the entrepreneur, the business owner. Why? Because 50% of the Google My Business profiles, the ones you guys are used to seeing, are dormant. You guys are doing nothing with them, right?
They're
So
never
they
listening to
create
the
them.
show. They're not listening, right? They don't listen.
Exactly. They're dormant. So this is an effort for Google to make a stand and really start pushing business owners that create these profiles to utilize them. If you guys remember, there used to be a product called Google Plus. Nobody used it. So it was a Google product, and they got rid of it. So this product has gotten some traction. There's been large competition with Facebook and Instagram, and they tend to hit the local markets a little more. They want to compete, and they need to push and poke at those business owners to use these profiles to make it more popular, right? To utilize them, to improve search, to get rid of those spammers, right? We want to know that you're real. What sales are you running? What are the updates for your business? Add some pictures of your location. What's going on? Make some updates, because we want to provide, and this is Google speaking, they want to provide the correct information, the most recent information for local businesses to their avatar, their ideal client, which are the searchers, right? People looking for stuff on Google. So that's what they're moving towards. And that's why they essentially did this. But with that, what does that mean even further for us to have Google My Business profiles that are now called Google Business Profiles, is that the interaction, or the way we make updates to the profile is going to dramatically change. Okay, so what does this mean? How is it going to change? Google, in their theory, in their thoughts, and how this is being rolled out, is it makes it very difficult. And I know it is, because we do it. We help clients do this, and everybody's very confused when I tell them, hey guys, here are your tips and tricks on how to improve and optimize your Google My Business. I give them all this cool stuff, but nobody knows how to access their Google My Business. They're like, cool, I can do that, but I don't, where do I go to log in? Right? So what Google has done is changed the user experience. So now you're going to be able to edit your Google My Business profile. Man, Shawn, I keep messing this up. You're going to be able to edit your Google Business profile on the front end, which means on the search.
I put it at the bottom of the screen for you. GBP, Google Business
Man,
Profile.
I'm going to love that. But yeah, you're going to be able to actually go and look for your business, Google business profile. And there's going to be tools on the front end for you to easily make edits to your Google business profile. Okay. So what's been the big holdup in a lot of cases is that people just don't know how to access their old GMB, right? Now with their new GBP, they'll be able to do a lot of these edits on the fly on the front end. And that's Google's theory of making it easier for local businesses. Now, there is a little bit of a caveat, because even though that's going to be possible, you're still going to have access to the back end. They call it the back end application or the back end dashboard till the end of 2021. Going into 2022, you will no longer have access to that dashboard. They are going to force you to make the edits on the front end. So I would suggest, if you manage one Google GBP, Google Business Profile, you need to get used to making the edits on the front end. Because if you don't, you're going to be in a world of hurt when you're forced to do that starting 2022. And they haven't even given a date on when that's going to happen. So it depends, right? So that's to be announced. So that's one of the things that you should be doing first. Go figure out how to access it on the front end. Look at it, get used to the different tools, start playing with it so you get used to it, and start not using the application, the backend, because that's no longer going to be available. But the caveat to that, if you are a large company or agency, and there's not a lot of information around this yet, because we actually manage multiple Google Business Profiles. But what we're going to be doing is Google has released some information that these type of agencies or companies, a lot of them, like franchises, right? A lot of locations, they will have a dashboard. They will actually have something that looks very similar to what we have now, but it's going to be very specific to businesses and agencies that are running multiple of these profiles. Okay. So those are the only people that are going to be using that. Okay. So that's going to be very important to know. And that's going to be rebranded as Business Profile Manager. So just so you guys know.
On that note, I saw something as I was doing some research around this after you brought this up to us. And I actually noticed this. I didn't realize it, actually. I noticed it when I was looking at some of the old GMBs that we currently manage that are now almost, I think they're already rolled into this GBP model. And that was that you can update them from the front end, even if you're not the business owner. That others, like your users, your customers, can maybe say the address is different. Maybe they went to a different address than what you had on there, or maybe they got a different phone number, or they want to upload pictures, especially like restaurants. I have a feeling you're going to experience this one a lot, right? Somebody takes a photo in that restaurant and they're able to upload that there when they're uploading the reviews and that kind of stuff. So correct me if I'm wrong, but it looked like what I was reading was that users, non-searchers, we'll call those the searchers, are able to make adjustments to your profile. So you as the owner, you also need to be paying attention to that front end and being comfortable getting in there, making those changes, because you might get improper information being put there or changed on you. Is that correct?
Well, to a certain point, there's going to be certain pieces of information that people can recommend, right? That are not admins on those accounts that can recommend to be updated. And that's another feature that Google's kind of their motion towards improving the profiles, right? To kind of seeing what's going on. Because what you and I will be able to do on a listing, maybe somebody created a listing that has our business name already, we'll be able to claim those business profiles now from the front end. We can even see a status of our verification process. We can even verify a GBP via the front end and not a postcard, via a phone number. So that there's a lot of changes, a lot of more options. And the other thing that we've been dealing with quite a bit, actually, just because obviously now it makes sense that this is being rolled out, is Google has been very careful and kind of putting down their foot in regards to suspending suspicious activity on these type of profiles, right? So we've seen a lot of suspensions on real businesses, but since they've been dormant, or some of the stuff that they're making edits, some of the information that they're editing, like phone number, address, just according to Google's kind of like standards, it looks suspicious. So it gets suspended. It is a nightmare to go through a process of trying to figure out how to get it back live, especially when it's real. So now the front end is going to have some tools for you to easily be able to communicate with Google and get those, those suspensions unsuspended, right? And obviously they'll give you a process, but before it was almost a mystery. So I don't know if you want to throw something in there, Shawn. I know we went through that. And then we even helped some clients go through that. And it's just a big, big pain.
Yeah, I'm glad that you brought some of that clarity on. It's not like the searchers can just make a change. It sounds like they can request or suggest to Google that maybe something's different than what's actually out there. But yeah, okay. Because the way I originally read it, it sounded like, well, I don't know if as a business owner, I don't know if I like that, them being able to just make a change, but it sounds more like it's a request to change on there. On the other note, though, it is good to hear that they're looking to make it easier, because I know when we went through it, we had one address, we moved the corporate address, and going through that process, it actually was easier to get it re-verified when we moved addresses, because then it gave us the ability to we were already a trusted profile with them. They let me actually, I think it was through email at that time.
Mm-hmm.
They let me be able to verify that this literally was me making the change through the primary email address of the profile.
Awesome. Yeah. And that's one of the features that we're looking at. A couple more kind of features that are going to be really cool that you should kind of go experiment with, click around, check them out, is you'll be able to easily go and reply to reviews. So one of the things that we do for optimization on a Google business profile is get reviews, right? That proves that you're a real business, that people are doing business with you, they're buying your product, they're hiring you to do the service that you offer, and they leave you a review for the job that you did, right? So that's proof. That's one of the signals, a huge, probably the major signal that gives Google that this business is still in business, number one, and that you guys are doing a good job or a bad job if they give you, 1-star review or something, right? So those reviews are very important. But even if you get kind of a low-star review, that's not always a negative, right? There's an opportunity to reply. And when you don't reply, then it looks really bad, right? So what Google has done with the front end editing kind of methodology is give you the opportunity to easily access your Google business profile and reply to these testimonials that people are leaving, or reviews that people are leaving very quickly, right? And the other cool feature that I tested and actually works really well, and I invite you guys to go try this out to make sure it works for you guys, is it's really easy to access your Google business profile from search, because before you would have to go to google.com/business, log in, right? And go through that whole process. Now, as long as you're logged into your business email, the one that's connected to this profile, you can, in search, you can actually type in my business profile or business profile, and it will pop up. It will literally come up. It's all connected. So it's really, really cool to access. They're really striving to make this as simple as possible for business owners to keep this Google business profile updated. Okay, so that's huge. The other one that I want to point out that's very important that everybody should play around with and kind of look at, and it should be like a monthly thing that you look at this, maybe, is the performance. So there's going to be a tool on the front end that you can kind of click, and currently on the dashboard, it's a little hidden, sometimes hard to get to. But now that it's on the front end, you'll be able to click a button, look at all the different edits that you can make. One of them being checking out the promotion, how you're going to promote. And then it gives you a performance option. You click on the performance option, and it gives you, where's your traffic to your Google business profile coming from? Is it coming from desktop, mobile? It's like, how many people are actually seeing it? Also, the big one that I really like is not only the traffic, but also the calls. How many calls? How many people are clicking that phone number? Huge data, like very, very important. Not that it's brand new. It's been buried. The user experience was always a little hard to understand. Now it's very simple. So we're hoping, and I'm with Google on this one, I do agree, we're hoping that now business owners will utilize this tool a lot more, because it is a staple when it comes to your marketing. And it is a very, very important profile for a business. And us, the searchers that are looking for your service and product, we use it. So if you're not utilizing it as a business, you're missing out.
Well, and I don't want to let the cat out of the bag too early, but there is something me and you, are rolling out at the beginning of the year. We got some of our clients, some beta individuals on it right now, but it goes to what we're bringing out, integrates and ties in to Google Business Profile. Google Business Profile. And one of the features that I love out of it is the chat functionality. I think that's been something that people have overlooked, didn't even know it was there. Never half of, most businesses probably didn't even turn it on. Yet it's a great place because somebody's going to interact really quickly with your profile if they can hit a chat button and chat two-way back and forth with you. So yes, I 100% agree. Tracking, one of the things we're bringing out in January, is going to help give some better insight around the Google profile and what kind of calls are you getting, how many calls are coming off of that. But more importantly, also having that integration or that ability for somebody to chat with you on there. I think we'll probably need to do a tutorial style video that we'll throw up on the YouTube channel on how to make sure that you've got the chat function activated and turned on for somebody to do it. But I've been playing around quite a bit with that and using it to get some things going with some of our clients, and it's been a fun little kind of tool out there.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's going to be, and something to keep in mind for everybody. A lot of these tools that we'll probably be talking about as the months kind of unroll and we find out more about this release, is some of these tools are not new. They've just been brought to the forefront and made it a lot easier for us to access, right? So that was the entire goal, according to the documentation that Google's releasing. So that's awesome, right? So we talked about all the great things, right? We talked about, they're trying to make it easy, and they're really trying to kind of grow this a little more. This is kind of a step forward to improving like a local profile within Google, which is awesome. But I want to kind of move a little bit here to get towards our closing here, just to leave you guys with some thought and why you should jump on this now, right?
I thought you were going to bring out some of the negatives.
Not really. I don't want to call it a negative. I'm going to call it a bit of a theory, right? And these are going to bounce around. I'm sure my thoughts will change depending on how the rollout goes. But think about it, guys. It's like, once again, I'm going to go back to how I started. Google is a business, right? It's a business. So they do not charge for this profile, this Google business profile. They have never charged for this. This has been a free tool that they've been kind of working on, and it's gotten traction. It's now become a staple in most people's marketing strategy, right? There's even very specific agencies that's all they do, right? So this is a step forward. We already talked about all this, but think about it. They're moving small businesses, and in their documentation, their verbiage, not mine, is basically, we recommend that all small businesses begin to make edits on using the front end, right? Moving you guys over to the front end, making it easy, making it sound very, very nice. And all large corporations, all large businesses and agencies that manage multiple locations, we will give you a dashboard, a back-end dashboard that we will call the Business Profile Manager. Now, think about it, what I just said, the two differences. So you got small business and you have large business, right? So, and the large businesses are going to have that Business Profile Manager, right? So how does Google make money? There's a couple different ways, but one of the main ways that they make money is ads. So this is a move forward, in my opinion.
Is this a tinfoil hat moment? Like, are we going conspiracy theory style?
Oh man. So this is going to be a step towards getting us closer to one or two things, getting us more comfortable on using ads, right? Kind of getting and buying into that. Or are they moving us towards potentially charging us to use Google My Business? And I wanted to throw that in this video, in this conversation, because that means get off the couch, go use it, do whatever you can now, because it will change. I see some things coming, and I think
Folks, we call him the Googlenator for a reason. I'm telling you, there's a reason he's saying this.
But and that's why on both sides, is it a negative, is it a positive? Doesn't matter, right? It's business, and you have to adjust. This is an agile environment that we're living in with the technology, all businesses, but I think technology is moving so fast, and these are the things that are happening. And if you apply, regardless if it's a I mean, it's a great platform. Point being, it's free right now. The days of, for example, if we talk Facebook, the days of getting thousands of hits on one ad that you paid $100 for on Facebook is gone. Well, guess what? Where you have an opportunity right now with this Google Business Profile, it's free and it gets traffic, and it's, if you optimize correctly, you can do a lot with it. But eventually, the way we're going, who knows? It could be gone in a couple of years. So I would jump on it now.
So I was checking the comment box, see if we had any questions come in there, but thoughts on this, and then we'll start to wrap down because I don't see any specific questions. I see a bunch of people saying what's up and everything. Thoughts on this though?
Sure.
It's already a very critical element to SEO. To the
Absolutely.
organic rankings, the GMB already plays a major factor in it. And I'm going to go tinfoil hat for a moment now too with you.
Love it.
If you're thinking it's going to shift again and it's suddenly not going to be a free platform and maybe we have to pay for it, or maybe you're going to get forced into having to use agencies, right? Maybe only agencies are able to access and do these things, and it's going to put you in agency. We're going to have to pay or do something to be able to have access to this thing or something. Can it, or do you think that it's going to become even more important from an organic ranking standpoint?
Absolutely. That's a great point, because that what we do, main kind of service that we offer, SEO, right? SEO just becomes more important because it kind of evens out, not even evens out, the unevens the playing field, right? Because now the people that can play in the new Google Business Profile in the future, right? In the future, that will, people that don't have a budget will no longer be able to be there. They'll have to pay. So they're going to have to rely on the organic rankings. Why do I keep banging on that door, right? It's like, even though it might not be driving you thousands of leads right now and you can go buy a couple ads and drive it, you have to work on your SEO, your branding, because eventually things are changing. And this is one of them. This is a big signal for everybody that your organic rankings, nobody can take. That's there. That's there to stay, right? Your brand awareness, everything that you're creating. But I think as we get into that, it's going to, again, kind of put, price people out, and that feature will go away for some people, and it's going to go back to corporate, big companies are going to be the ones being able to play in that route.
So to close this out, we got a pretty good question that came in. Dr. Andrea, it's actually one of our clients hanging out here today with us live. She said, what are the top 3 things to do now on the Google business page? I think you kind of hit on a few of these earlier, but if you had to summarize it, like 3 things, you're telling people get their butt off the couch, quit snacking on the pizza, get out there and get to work. What are like 3 things this week they should go do?
Sure. So 3 things. Those are actually very, very simple. Number 1, go audit your Google Business Profile. Make sure the information is correct. If any of that information, phone number, business name, phone number, address, if any of that is wrong, update it, right? Number 1. Number 2, go get reviews. Number 2, go get reviews. That will, again, amplify the brand awareness that you're live, right? And number 3, in my opinion, I would recommend that after you do the first 2, go start doing some posts. Some, I guess we're going to call them now Google Business Profile posts. So, before we called them GMB posts, right? So now they're GBP posts. So start going and doing some posts. I'll give even a little advice or a little trick or whatever you want to call it, is if you have blog posts on your websites, just go read a blog post, pretty much look at it, summarize it, and you can use that as a post on your Google Business Profile. That's it. Easy as that.
And I know we've done some past episodes on that type of, it was just a couple weeks ago, actually, I believe, on some of those actions on the GMB. And although the name's changing, the technique, the strategy, that kind of stuff is not going to change as far as like what are the important things. Reviews are always, always, always going to be a major player in it. I was actually talking to one of our clients last week who was talking to a customer of theirs, or prospect, I should say. This person hadn't become a customer yet. And the one thing that they were hesitant about doing business with them, even though they were enjoying their conversation, they felt like they had a good connection. This person said, "Well, I don't know if I'm ready to move forward with you yet because you don't have any reviews." And that's when it hit them that I have got everything else, but I don't have any reviews. And it's not like this person was new to business. You know, they didn't just start their business last week. They've been around the block for a while. They had some deals done. They had some opportunities, but they just were overlooking this piece. And it finally hit them that, all right, maybe Shawn and Roger aren't lying when they say people actually care about reviews.
Oh man, you're gonna make me share. You're gonna make me share, Shawn.
Did I finally do it to you?
Yeah, you did it to me. I just got to share this one thing, and then you got to close it out, man, because we're gonna keep going. But I too was on a few calls today, and one of them stood out because this was already planned for us to talk about this, but same deal. Awareness, guys. Awareness. It's the first stage, right? Awareness. You got to make sure there's awareness out there. This particular client has been with us doing, excellent SEO work. We've been doing a lot of stuff. They do what, we guide them to do. Doing great. But these guys have a TV ad, a radio ad. They have their website optimized doing SEO, and they're optimizing their GMB or GVP now. Everything's been great. They had a deal or a client that wanted to do business that heard their TV or they saw the TV ad, then heard them on the radio. That took them to the website to research them. Then they went from the website to the GBP, the Google Business Profile, saw the reviews, and eventually called them and literally told them that they went through that process to basically prove that these guys could do what they said they can do for them, right? So that is proof that these assets are extremely important to closing deals, selling product, whatever you have out there. It's a reflection of your business, right? So just want to kind of share that since you had a good one. I think it kind of solidifies the importance of these assets.
Absolutely. So I'm going to close this out so we don't keep going. I don't know. Maybe one of these days, you guys will have to tell us. Shoot Roger and I a message. Hit us up on Facebook. Hit us up on Instagram. Shoot us a message through our websites. I don't care how you get it to us. Just get it to us. Let us know. I'm curious how many people would love us to do like a half day or a full day marathon podcast. Just wonder how that would go. And if even anybody would be interested in it. But not today. Not today. We're going to shut it down. I got a calendar full of stuff today, and it's technically my birthday. I'm 246 years old. I look pretty damn good. I don't have any wrinkles. Tonight I'm going to drink beer. I'm going to shove cake in my face and fight everybody. That's the Marine Corps way right there.
Oh man,
it'll have to be another day for that. But
yeah, but I do got to say before you close this out, though, Shawn, I got to say to all you guys, Marines out there, happy birthday and thank you for your service.
Well, I appreciate it. Thank you. Early Veterans Day to everybody tomorrow. At the time of recording this, tomorrow is Veterans Day. So happy Veterans Day to your wife, even though she's active duty. I consider those serving and past serving to be part of that veteran crew. So unfortunately, your wife's in the Navy and they don't get to celebrate the Marine Corps birthday because you know the running joke, right? I'm going to end it with this. You know the running joke. The Marine Corps is a division of the Navy. Do you know which division?
I've heard it before.
The men's department. The men's division. So,
oh man,
all my Navy brothers and sisters, I'm sorry. You're on the wrong division. But with that, We will see you guys next week. Roger, other than telling them to get off the couch and take action, anything you want to leave them with?
No, just kind of be on a lookout for more rollouts around the new Google Business Profile. This isn't it. It's not over. They're going to continue to roll things out. So keep your eyes peeled. We'll try our best to deliver the information in real time as we get it as well.
Awesome. Well, as I tell you guys every single week, we're here for you. If you need anything, do not hesitate. Hit us up. Jump over to topresultsconsulting.com, reitoolbox.com. Hit us up. You want to get deeper into this kind of stuff? We go deep, deep, deep on these type of topics all the time with our clients on our weekly training calls with them. We can help you guys out like crazy. Hit us up. Roger, myself, we'll get on a call. We'll see how we can best serve you from a digital standpoint and make you dominate online in the years to come. And until next week, here's to your success. We'll see you guys back here Wednesday next week. Have a good one.